Okay, let us talk about banks shoving their offers to buy their shares in your face. You just want to transfer 2K and they are handing you a flyer. Relax, I will explain it all today. In the end, I will tell you whether to buy these banks or run from them. Imagine Nigeria's banks are like different types of shoes. Some are sneakers, others are sandals, and some are special heels. The Central Bank of Nigeria, which is like the head shoemaker, has decided that all these shoes need to be stronger and better fitted to each bank's feet. Why? Think about when you're walking on a rocky road. You want sturdy shoes that won't wear out quickly, right? It's the same with banks. They need to be strong to protect our money when the economy gets rough. So, what's happening? The Central Bank of Nigeria has told all the banks, hey, you need to get new, stronger shoes that fit your feet perfectly by March 2026. That might sound like a long time away, but for banks, it's like tomorrow morning. The Central Bank of Nigeria said banks need different sized shoes depending on how big their feet are. The biggest banks that work all over the world need shoes worth 500 billion. Big banks that work all over Nigeria need shoes worth 200 billion. Smaller banks that work in just parts of Nigeria need shoes worth 50 billion. That's a lot of money for shoes, right? It's like telling someone with simple flip-flops to suddenly buy expensive boots. Why is this happening? The CBN wants to make sure that if the road gets really tough, like if lots of people can't pay back their loans, the banks won't get blisters or sore feet. It's like making sure the banks have the right shoes for any kind of journey. Some of you are aware of what happened to Heritage Bank. What are the banks doing about it? This is where the sale part comes in. To get money for these new, expensive shoes, some banks are saying to people, hey, would you like to buy a small piece of our shoemaking business? Let's look at 3 big banks and what they're doing. Guarantee Trust Holding Company is trying to sell 17 billion tiny pieces of their shoe business for 44.50 each. Anyone can buy it. Fidelity Bank wants to sell 10 billion pieces for 9.75 each. Anyone can also buy this. Access Holdings is giving their current shoe business owners a chance to buy 17 billion new pieces for 19.75 each. This is just for current holders. Is this really a crisis? Not exactly. It's more like a big shoe shopping challenge. It's as if the government suddenly said, everyone needs to wear special expensive shoes by 2026. Some people would need to save up quickly. What does this mean for regular Nigerians? If banks get these new shoes, they should be able to work more safely with our money. This will make our banks stronger. If you have some spare cash, you could buy some of these pieces of the bank's shoe businesses. This is an opportunity to become an investor. Banks with better shoes can help more businesses, which could create more jobs. They can give out larger loans, which will help more businesses in Nigeria. What if banks can't afford the new shoes? They might need to team up with other banks, like sharing a pair of shoes. Or they might need to become smaller banks with smaller shoes. Is your money safe? Yes. This whole process is to make sure your money has even better shoes to walk around in for the future. In the end, this crisis is more like a big shoe upgrade for Nigeria's banking system. It might be a bit uncomfortable for a while, but the goal is to make sure all banks have the right shoes for any economic weather. Remember, just like you wouldn't break in new shoes in one day, the banks have until 2026 to get their new footwear. It's a big job, but it's all about making sure that when you put your money in the bank, it's working in the safest, most comfortable shoes possible. So next time you hear about banks going on sale, you'll know it's not because they're in trouble, but because they're trying to get better shoes to protect our money. It's like they're growing into new shoes, just like we see children do as they grow bigger and stronger. So, should you buy these bank shares? Let me put it this way. Whether you buy or not, these banks must meet the central bank's targets. They are offering you the chance to become a shareholder. And if you were already a shareholder, this is a chance to add to your assets. Now, what are the benefits? Being a shareholder means you are part of the business owner. This also means that when they make a profit, you get a part of it. This is also called a dividend. This can be your passive income. It can be your side hustle. It can be your pension. It can be your retirement goal. Some people got dividends as much as 4 million naira just last year alone. The number of dividends you get depends on the number of shares you own. This is how I see this thing. Is Guarantee Trust Holding Company going to be here in 20 years? Because if I make it my retirement plan, I need to trust that the business will exist when I retire. I hope that makes sense to you. But you would probably ask how I can trust that the business would have such longevity. It is all about what I can see today. Guarantee Trust Holding Company is the most popular bank in Nigeria. It might be the second or third most popular bank for you, but I'm just telling you my perspective. As compared to other banks, Guarantee Trust Holding Company is the best at making a profit. You might say, but Access Bank made 2.5 trillion, while Guarantee Trust made 1.1 trillion. Yes, and you're right. But of the 2.5 trillion Access Bank made, 645 billion was profit. And of the 1.1 trillion Guarantee Trust made, 539 billion was profit. Access Bank's profit is 25% of its earnings, while Guarantee Trust's profit is 45% of its earnings. Zenith Bank is 32%. But that is not all. I also look at how they make their money. The major way banks make money is by collecting interest on loans. This is also called interest income. Of the total earnings, only 45% was through loans for Guarantee Trust. Zenith Bank is 54%, while Access Bank is 60%. In simple English, Guarantee Trust has many other ways to make money other than giving out loans. This video is not a technical analysis. I just wanted to gist you guys about my view on all these bank share sagas. These are what I looked at when smiling at Guarantee Trust. Other people have other reasons for smiling at other banks. I keep hearing that the Nigerian stock market is at a high. The entire market is valued at 100,000, but 66,000 used to be the previous high. Then it crashed to 25,000 for several years before eventually rising to 100,000 some months ago. Does it mean that those who were in the market before it crashed to 25,000 all died? No. I mean, maybe a few, but probably of old age. The stock market is meant to bounce up and down. That is what it does all across the globe. If your mindset is to grow wealth steadily over a long period, then I do not know what you are waiting for. But if you want a quick buck and some profits in a few months, go and get financial advice. This is not one. This video is already too long. If you like, smash the like button. Remember to subscribe. Cheers.